I'll make something up.
Y'all just heard it. Jody said live she'll make something up. That couldn't have come on at a better timing. Um, anyway, we're here uh, with the final coverage of the finale of Survivor. Um,
Finally. Finally,
Jody,
the finale.
Jody did say that some dude from Kentucky named Nick was going to win,
Was gonna win, and he did.
and I don't know how
What?
to feel about that, so I'm just going to let it go at the moment. I did say I thought it was going to be Davey, not Nick, but Davey got booted out first because I knew it was going to be one of those two just for numbers on David and Goliath, but the numbers weren't smart enough to make it no Goliath. We start out, Angelina finds a clue because they all wake up in the morning and start digging. Angelina finds a clue, but does not know. It becomes a mess. Jody, take it away.
It becomes a mess because she finds this ladder and she's like, I have to do it now. And she's so dramatic in the process. And I don't think she didn't end up finding it because she brought all of them back with her to find it for her. So it was just a mess. She said she climbed about 80 to 100 feet in the air, which she didn't, because Jeff was like, which was funny because he was like, it's an 8-foot ladder. But apparently she ripped her pants or something. And I don't know. The whole thing was just a mess. So, yeah, she's
Jody is Angelina's biggest fan.
the
Angelina,
biggest
somehow, if you ever
fan.
find this out there in the universe, let us
Oh,
know.
yeah.
I'll gladly set Jody up one day on an interview, and I'll just throw you on as the third person, and it'll be a complete surprise.
Yeah. Well,
Okay, so we get to the first on the episode, immunity slash reward prize. Um, once again, like I said, Allison, being the big, huge threat who she was, comes out and wins. Oh wait, no, Nick wins. Because there's not really Christian's not left to beat him at a puzzle. Gabby's not left to challenge him at a puzzle, and there's no physical threats to physically dominate him. So Nick wins. Whoa, surprise! He then chooses Angelina and Mike to go on reward with him, which they have. I guess Angelina got picked because there was a non-meat option on the spaghetti. I don't know what that means. I'm not a vegetarian or a vegan, so I have no idea. But they go on this reward, and it's not right by the well. So Angelina's like, "Guys, I trust you. Help me," and they end up finding the idol, or they help her get the idol. Any thoughts on that, Jody?
well, I think they like Mike like came out and said she was an idiot because he was like, I find this earlier and it was just right there. So I don't know. That whole thing was just dramatic. It was not. It was just hilarious, to be honest with you. So
Okay, well, now this is where I'm just going to make my point. Mike says, you know what, it's time to get Davy out. And Nick's like, he doesn't tell Nick this, but that's where he comes to the decision of Nick's like, Allison's got to go. She's the biggest threat. And
yep,
basically, Davy gets voted out. And,
makes Nick mad, right?
well, Nick goes, Davy goes, good move, whatever. And Nick goes, I didn't know, bro. And he's like, of course you didn't, which proves my point on where Nick's true feel of the game was at that point and
Right.
his power he had. Davey then exits and says, whoever voted me out, you've got my vote unless someone can do something dramatic. I didn't think anyone did anything, Nick, to earn Davey's vote. But Jody, what were your thoughts?
Um, Here's my thing: is yeah, Nick was kind of like under the radar for several weeks. It seemed like, but I do feel like he's played a smart game. He wasn't too over the top. He kind of stayed in the middle until obviously at the very end there was no other competition, and he was the only one winning immunity challenges and things like that. So I get where you're coming from, But I was either way. Like Davey or Nick was going to be my vote, and I was hoping that either one of them were going to win. I just didn't want. I really didn't want Mike to win because I just didn't understand how he continued to like do things, and then nobody ever once said, "Hey, let's get Mike out." Never.
So everyone else is not going to have a. I can't do what I want to say here, but I'm going to try and put this because I was going to say if you put me and Lewis in a challenge, it's been proven I'm going to beat Lewis. But you know how like Reed and other people are not in these challenges, so of course
Right.
I'm going to win. That's kind of how I felt about this. It's like if a high school football team is going to play Alabama, Alabama's going to win. I mean,
No, I mean I get it. I get it. Mike's the oldest one in the game. Angelina's irrelevant, and then there's Nick, which is like semi-athletic. He can get things done. So I get it. I get it.
but the only thing I mean, I need to now request CBS, and they'll never get this. I need like live 24-hour footage.
Of
Like,
Survivor.
yeah, just put it on like the internet somewhere where I can go find it and
And
watch the
watch
whole
24
39
hours.
days.
Yeah.
Um, because they kept saying Allison was a threat,
She was.
and I don't know at what facet because
No.
she kept getting beat physically. She may have just been a real nice person and all this stuff. I don't really know. I liked Allison. I wanted her to win. I knew it wasn't likely.
Yeah.
Uh, well, that's all I got on that. I'm gonna. So then we go to the next immunity, and Allison pretty much has to win or going home. And once again, guess
Nick
what?
wins.
Nick wins,
Nick wins.
and they were on a little thing. And they've done this before. They've done this exact challenge before. I can't remember what season it is. They're on the podium in the water. They got to dip the bucket down till they can float the key up to them, get
Oh.
off solve the puzzle.
Mm-hmm.
Allison's terrified. They could barely start the challenge because she was having a hard time standing up on the thing. Um,
Which I felt like that was every balancing challenge. She was always
well, no, this time it looked like
water.
she
Like it's
honestly is
not
like
that
I don't.
hard.
Yeah, I don't think she wants to get up on the ladder though. Like if we have a 20-foot ladder, she's not going up to the roof to hang Christmas lights. I'm just judging. No, if she just did not look like she was going to get up on the ladder to do something. It looked like it was bothering her, and everyone has a fear, so it is what it is. Well, what were your thoughts on the challenge? Nick won. Spoiler alert. Real tough challenge there.
uh, I mean, again, had no real competition. I mean, it was kind of clear that he was going to win. So,
Well, so basically we get back to camp before tribal, and now Angelina has got what she's wanted for probably it seems like maybe 15 days or longer. She gets to stick it to Allison, and so she's telling the boys, "Hey, I want to like act like y'all are gonna vote for me, and I'll use my idol." And I'm like, "Yeah, that'd be great." She's gonna act like she's smarter than all y'all and played her idol and make her look good. And they weren't going for that. And then she's like, "Well, what if I made a fake idol and Allison played it?" And Mike was just like rolling his eyes. He was like, "This is dumb." Um,
well, that whole thing was manipulative, so that way it could like show the jury that she was some sort of player in this game,
she
and it was
was a player, Jody. We'll get to
oh
that in a
my
minute.
god, like
We,
just gag me. That's
we,
what I. That's what
we'll,
I'm
we'll
saying.
get to that once we get to the end. Anyway, so Allison just finds this really easy. Now, for the record, it was wrapped in the paper, and the idols were not looking very fancy this year. So she finds this fake idol at the well. And for the record, Angelina so undersells this. Like, she's
Right.
not like panicked because, okay, it's now her or Kara probably getting voted out. And she's like, "Oh, did you find it? No way." And I'd have been like, knock her down, try and take it from her or something. But no, Angelina's just like, "Oh, no way." And so we get to tribal, and even Allison says, "I think it's a fake,
I think it's a fake. She
but I'm
already
going to
saw
play it
her.
just in case." And Angelina's got her nice grin on her face.
Oh
She'd
yeah.
make a great villain in a movie, by the way. I like her grin. So Allison's voted out, and Kara voted for Allison because she didn't want Angelina's plan to work and look like, oh, Angelina has control of the game.
Right.
Any thoughts on that whole situation?
I thought Allison saw right through it. Everybody saw right through it. Everybody knew that this was an Angelina scheme, and it was unfortunate that Allison had to go home at that time. So, but Allison knew it. I mean, it was no surprise. So,
Okay, well, then we have our last immunity challenge. And I mean,
mm-hmm.
I don't even know what to tell you guys. They're dropping the ball things down at the end. I kind of want to do this. One of the ones I kind of want to do just to do to see how it would be because it looks fun. Um, spoiler alert: Nick wins. Wow, I mean, just wow. Nick wins another immunity challenge. There's
3
such a
row.
such a field out there to beat him. And I'm just going to give my perspective, and then we'll let Jody give hers. What I saw was Nick ran out. They get back there, and it takes like 5 minutes. He's like, I already know. Oh, maybe longer than 5 minutes, but it's like, guys, I'm just going to tell you, Angelina's going to the finals with me. And I mean, it's like, well, that's it. So,
Yeah.
and then Survivor gives us an edit of Kara flipping fire in like 2 minutes, and Mike taking like 2 hours. But then Mike has this big moment to where he's talking and he's like, I came out here, blah, blah, blah. And then he lights the fire into me. At that moment, I was like, Mike's going to win Survivor. And I knew he was going to win the fire challenge as just the way it was edited. And I thought he was going to win at that point. Now, Jody, you can go on and tell us your
Well,
thoughts.
this one I really did think that Kara was going to win because it was no surprise that she had done stuff around camp, and even the jury and the jury questioning. That was one thing that came up about Mike not being the handiest around camp and all of that. So I mean, he knew it. I mean, it wasn't like that was his strong suit as far as like making fire and all of that. So he admitted it. So I really did think that Kara was going to win. And then I don't know. I to me, I think that it's probably easier to build a fire at your camp. I don't know what the wind situation's like at tribal council, but it seems like it's really windy there. I don't know. Like I could be wrong, but I think it always plays out like that where they show someone that's just like killing it making fire and then they're never the ones who win. But I really did think in that situation that Kara was going to win and Mike was going to go home. But unfortunately, it was not like that.
Okay, so we get to the final three. And me and Jody discussed this a little earlier. In the old format, it used to be, hey, you get up, they're like, Andy, it's your turn to go. I'm like, well, I have only one question for Nick. Nick, how do you really feel you impacted the game since you really didn't have a lot of control over a majority of the votes towards the end? And then Nick will give me his BS answer, and I'm like, okay, duly noted. And then I'm still pissed off and I go vote for whoever I want to vote for. But now they've changed it to where they do the three portions and everyone talks back and forth.
Right.
And the other seasons I didn't notice it as much. This season I noticed it. So we're towards the end of the first, I think it's the outwit or outlast, I don't know, whatever their first topic is. Mm-hmm. And Jeff goes, is everyone good? It cuts to Christian. Christian goes, blank no, Jeff, or whatever. And it's like, oh, and then literally it like no words are said. Camera cuts back to Jeff and then goes, well, someone says, I'll wrap up this portion of it. And at that point, I realized that we are not seeing the full conversation at the finale. CBS, if I'm wrong, please write a nice comment down on my YouTube channel so I can know. But I just think that we didn't see it all. And so now they're probably trying to show us the part that they believe is the best and what matters, but we're missing stuff that we may not see. And so I don't know, but that's how I felt about that. On the final tribal itself, I felt like the first thing I'll say, is that Gabby tried to find a reason to vote for Angelina, and she even like says that she's breaking into tears at the end and stuff, and she doesn't vote for him, so or her, I mean, so be it.
There's
Um, no one really cried at the end, so my crying and winning theory did not get to come to fruition on this season.
no.
I was probably rooting for Mike just because I felt like he had won an immunity. I felt like he had moved in between several alliances, and I know people can say the same for Nick, but he had control over some of the last votes. Obviously, the last vote was Nick choosing to bring Angelina with him, but Mike had made control of the other votes, like when Davey went. Nick had no clue, but that's here nor there. That's my take on it. I think we missed some stuff, and I was told, I can't remember who spoke first. It might have been
No. I'll step in on that one. It was Elizabeth. And we
okay.
all know Elizabeth always just gets on my nerves. She comes in with her cowboy hat,
Elizabeth, please comment. I'll let you also
the
do a
whole bit.
surprise interview with Jody on YouTube if you want.
Perfect. Come at me, bro.
Um, Go
Anyway,
on.
but she started it. She was coming in hot with the no BS, no sales pitches, blah 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 blah, which I get. I understand. But I mean, I think that's just part of it. You can either like see through it or you can buy into it. The whole sales pitch thing because it's a part of your game. So anyway, she started it like during the middle of it. I think one thing that I noticed about Mike was that he said that he had really played with almost everybody in the game. And that's why Gabby said that she couldn't trust him. Like that's why he couldn't be trusted. And so I think that's he kind of exposed himself by showing like how many people that he had kind of had alliances with. I don't know. That's just me.
Yeah, that's a strength.
It's a strength, but at the same time, I don't know if you're saying that you've just been in the final, like if you have been in a final two situation with almost everybody, or a final three situation with almost everybody, then that kind of shows me that I mean you're just not you're kind of wishy washy. You're just not. I
They
don't.
believe you, though. That's the thing. The
Uh,
people believe you. They're in your alliance with you, and to have that ability, that's a trait that you want. Now, what I believe happened, thank you for, I did not have to do this on my own. You led me into this. I
right.
believe that some people trusted Mike and thought they were in with Mike.
Oh
And so
yeah.
they were a little bitter at the end more than they were showing. I
Right.
think the jury didn't show bitterness, but I think they voted somewhat bitterness.
Yeah. I do too.
Christian
And
voted
then
for Mike.
of course Angelina brought up the rice incident,
I
and I was
told you.
proud. I was so proud of Davy for saying that a selfless act is not something that you bring up at the end. That a selfless act is a selfless act, not something that you're proud of or that you like. I don't know. She thought she was being clever in all of her gameplay, and everybody saw right through it. She was naive in a certain extent, and I just couldn't stand it. I really wanted. I thought my eyes were going to go cross-eyed by how many eye rolls I was doing per season per episode. So, anywho,
If you go back and watch the previous episode for this, I told Jody she wanted because all of my friends didn't want Angelina in the end, and I'm like, the reason y'all don't want her in the end is the reason y'all want her in the end, because I told you someone was going to backhand her with that, and it happened.
it's
Um,
great.
uh,
So
I
Angelina didn't
so
get a single vote. So that's
no, Gabby tried.
great.
She was trying to vote for that strong, independent woman. Christian voted for
Mike.
Mike. How'd that make you feel?
I was surprised because of the Mason Dixon alliance. I was surprised at that, but I think he was a little bit bitter towards Nick because of that. So
Christian voted for who played the best game. If I had to play you his clip back, I will.
yeah, I mean, I I honestly, I don't blame anybody for voting for Mike because I feel like at the same time he just had such, I don't know. He's like I said, he did play a clever game. It wasn't like he didn't do anything and he made it to the top. Like I'm not saying that, but I just I don't know.
This whole season, you sat back and told everyone how Mike was flying under the radar.
He was the no. I'm
And
saying sliding under the radar like he was just riding coattails. Like that's not what I meant.
no, I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is, you had respect for his game
I
up
do.
until the end, apparently.
I do. No, I like I said, I'm still commending him on a good season, but at the same time, it just wasn't how I would play the game. I don't like how he I don't know. I don't see how people were like okay with some of the things that he did. Some of the ways that he voted people out. I don't know. I'll just go back to like the very first couple of episodes. He did something, and then like it was his idea, and nobody ever said, "Ooh, let's get Mike out because he's outplaying us right now."
Well, I'm just trying to get Jody a little frustrated on here,
I'm
and
not
it's working.
frustrated. You ain't gonna get me
She
frustrated
says it's
either.
not working.
No.
Anyway, so Nick goes on to win. There's somewhat disappointment in my life when this occurs, because the way it played out, I was like, it should have been Mike. But anyway, I'll move past that now. So we're going to talk about the reunion. And Jeff.
Do you hear that?
Yes, Jeff and what happens when you're in a house full of boys?
They're playing soccer in the living room. So
Jeff and Survivor and people are like, Angelina, she played a strong game, you know, feminist power. I'm not saying okay. I'm not saying it's like out of disrespect. I'm just saying how it was what they were trying to say, and it's like, and then they're like, well, and I think Gabby either said this in the reunion or in the final tribal. She's like, if a man had played this game, you would have been commended for it. And I'm just sitting here like, no, I did not see what Survivor did not show me what everyone else was seeing on Angelina's part, because I was like, if a man had played that game, he'd have been voted out for being stupid.
Right.
But I don't know. What was your take on this,
agree.
Jody? You strong lady, you.
I don't agree with Gabby. The only thing I will say that I semi agree with is women can be viewed as over emotional about certain things, which I think that's just how women are. It's not that I don't know. Do you have to work harder in the game because you're a woman? I don't feel that. I don't feel that at all. I feel like Survivor's the only game that you get treated like everybody else. So if you want to be treated as a woman, if you want to be treated, you know, I don't agree. I don't agree. So that's right.
Okay, so anyone, once again, Gabby, you can come. Any Survivor wants to hit me up and like attack me or Jody, feel free to. We'll gladly put you on the channel. The other thing I'll say is, if you watch this, we talked about, is his name Dan? I can't remember. He was on the jury, I think.
Oh yeah, Dan.
Dan, I talked about him being just like too emotional. So I think him and Gabby both were over emotional. Gabby, I'm calling you over emotional. I'm calling Dan over emotional. And I don't think it's a woman man thing. I think it's a person thing. So you can watch all the other videos and comment. And come hit us up on Twitter and see how bad you hate me, and that'll be nice.
I don't think men automatically advance in the game just because they're men. So that's where I'm at with that. I think it's a pretty even playing field.
Was her name Natalia or Natalie, the older lady that she said she was misportrayed on Survivor? And then literally when they were doing her at the reunion, she was the exact same as she was on Survivor.
Right.
And I'm like, whatever, everybody. What you? I will say this about the reunion. Obviously, they didn't talk to everybody because the freaking episode ran into what the reunion was.
Right.
Um, but I felt like this reunion was better than the past. A lot of people have been talking about it. There was no like special guests, like Lady Gaga didn't show up
Right.
to hand. I know it was Sia, but that didn't show up to hand someone a couple $1,000. You know what I mean? Like there was
Yeah.
none of that. They focused more on the contestants than they did other people and
Yeah.
like celebrities and stuff.
I liked it.
But season was good to me overall. I bet we see several of these people play again. Thoughts on your part?
Well, we do see that in the new season that Aubrey's coming back. Joe? Is it
Yes,
Joe's come back,
yes.
which I love Joe.
I'm sure you do.
Not for that reason. I
RJ,
think he's a very smart player. So
RJ, watch your back. I know you can't hear
Aubrey,
me.
on the other hand,
No, I love Aubrey. She should
I
have won her
know you love
season.
Aubrey. She's annoying.
Should have won her season. She's emotional too.
I know she is.
Should have won her first season. Um,
I
and
will agree. She was a good player.
we have Dr. Mike coming back too.
Yep.
They didn't show him, and then it's one of the people that has like the same name. It's a Wigglesworth or it's a Kelly. I can't think of which one.
Oh yeah.
And
Yeah.
she'll be back. She's a tall blonde. I'm sure that'll excite Tyler. Um,
I
I,
like the concept of the new season coming up.
okay, so good. We can talk about this. I was not gonna hit you with something we hadn't discussed. Let me bring the camera back to me. Okay, everybody, I'm going to tell you right now, this is like extinction. And I'm like, okay, Survivor, I personally don't need all the fancy titles and stuff to be involved. Other people do. I don't know what extinction means. And so no one will know until the season airs. Uh, the thing I'm interested to find out is that, like, we've done Exile Island. If it's like Exile Island, it's Exile Island, and they're calling it something else. I think pre-jump right here, I expect everyone to come back to this video in like the second week of Survivor and just trash me because I'm completely wrong. But I think that the extinction will be they'll get like voted out, and then they'll have to like do something or challenge other people, maybe like Redemption Island, but no one will know that they're there. And then they'll enter at the game at a certain point if they can do some kind of challenge or something. I don't know. Something along those lines, because I'm like, if it's Exile Island, I'm going to be pissed.
Yeah, I think I don't want to see an Exile Island situation either, so I'm good with that. But I think that would be really cool if they like challenge each other and nobody knew it, and then they re-entered the game at the merge or something like that would be really cool. When I think of extinction, though, obviously I think of like because we have people coming back into the game. I'm thinking this is their last go, so they either make it or they don't, or they're extinct. If you know what I mean.
See, okay,
So,
Jody puts it that way, and I like it. So does that mean, and I'm going to say, because does it only go to the 4 returning players, or does it go to all the players on the season?
could be. I don't know.
So that would be a horrible way to lose someone forever.
That would be. Yeah, I know. What if they're a really good player? You're just never going to bring them back on any other season?
So see, Jody's smarter than me. I didn't even think about it like that.
I'm just thinking that if they have returning players, that this is their last shot. Which Aubrey, this is her 3rd season, right?
Oh, yeah, she's not even going to reach as many people as played, though. There's been people play 4 or 5 seasons.
Yeah. So, Joe, this is his
3rd, I think, too.
3rd. So,
Golden Joke.
It's all people that this is their 3rd season?
No, Mike, it'll be a 2nd. Kelly, it should be her 3rd, if I'm thinking right.
So that's just when I saw that, I was like, oh, okay, this is maybe their last shot. So I don't know. That was just my first.
It's a good take, probably better than mine, maybe even more realistic than mine.
Who knows?
First off, I would like to say I know that no one who has played on the current season, which is already filmed, already in the can. They're back at US, probably watching us do this YouTube video right now.
Could be.
Yeah, I'm talking about Aubrey and Dr. Mike. Joe, you're not invited to watch the podcast. Don't hit me up. Kelly, you can, but then my friend's going to ask for your number, so I don't know what to tell
Just
you,
stay
girl.
away, Kelly. Stay away.
I know that any of those people, they can't really talk about what has. The thing is, they can't talk about what's happened during their season.
Right.
There is some contractual obligations that if you don't meet, bad on you.
Right.
Overall, this wasn't the greatest season of Survivor ever. It's better than some of the ones in the recent past. Maybe not all of them, but some of them. I think we'll see several players again. There's some players I feel we're going to see again that I don't want to see again, but that's just how life goes. I'm pretty much done for this season. Jody, do you have anything before we close out?
That's it. I'm ready for the spring.
Are you predicting the winner will be a returning player or a newcomer?
I bet it'll be a new player.
Jody says Dr. Mike will not win the new season.
He will not.
Just everyone, just remember that.
Calling it now.
Okay. Well, thank you guys for watching.
Thank you.
Maybe I'll do a little better of keeping us updated in the spring than I did this time, but we'll see. It's part of life. Everyone out there, goodbye. Hey. Roll Tide. And just remember that I probably would win every season of Survivor ever played.
Probably would.
And Jody would probably beat me.
I don't think so, Andy.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.